Okay, welcome back to the Easy as Accounting software video presentations. I just want to do a finalization on this invoice screen. If we have a look at the invoice screen up the top there, we will see a few icons. One says owing, one says or, and one says P for partial. If you have, a couple of hundred invoices here, if you want to see which invoices are outstanding, you click the owing button and it will bring back to the screen all those that are outstanding. If you click the P, it will show you all those invoices which have partial payments made against them. Click the or, they will all come back. If I was to change this status, I'll show you that. I'm just going to quickly change this status as saying it's only partially been paid. If I click the P, it brings that to the screen. If I click owing, it only shows full invoices outstanding. It doesn't show partial. It shows full invoices outstanding where no payment at all has been received. P's for partial, and or brings all back. We know that's been paid in full, so you better mark that back. That's the only extra thing I wanted to show you about the screen. This information here is exactly the same as on the expense videos and the income videos. I do want to show you one more thing though. If you have a look down here, we have a setup icon. If I click setup, this allows us to turn next to column on. I'm going to turn this column on. See over the right here? See this here? It brings it up. This is specific for those people who use accounts receivable and accounts payable. If you use an accounts receivable, if you have a client under accounts receivable, you can issue an invoice and update the accounts receivable with that invoice, the same way as we pay a payment and update our income section of the software. Let's say you go and do a Mr. Lawn Mowing Man here might happen to have a particular client that he services every week. It might be a shopping center, and he invoices them once a month, and he chooses to put them as an accounts receivable. Me personally, I don't use accounts receivable. I have no need to. If it was me, I would just drop one invoice and keep editing that each week and add each for the month and add each time I went there each week on one monthly invoice, and that's how I'd give it to him. But if you want to keep an accounts receivable, you can, and that's where that is. You can update the accounts receivable as well as your income. Okay, so that's what that's for. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory. If you use that, it's there. You click the help here, and it will tell you this. Okay, I'm going to turn that back off. We don't need that on. And the last thing to show you is this here. Let's say that we go into a new financial year. This here brings up previous financial year. If I click this, it says previous full invoices and partial invoices from last financial year without amounts still outstanding. Let's jump ahead. Let's jump ahead to year 2010 because currently you're in this financial year. I click select. I'm in 2010. No income in there. See, no invoices in there because we're into a new financial year. And we go, oh, well, that's no good because we have a couple of outstanding invoices from last year where people haven't paid yet. Just because we've gone into a new financial year still means people have to pay us. So you can see those invoices, you click previous financial year's invoices. If I click this, it shows us straight away the outstanding amounts. You can't edit these invoices, you can't see these invoices. Okay, you have to jump back to the previous financial year to see them. But you can definitely record payments received for this financial year. If I click payment received, add to income, yes. Let's say he paid the lot, so we won't enter anything here. We click done. Print receipt, no, we're not going to worry about that. If I exit out of that and come back, if I come back in again now, it's gone, isn't it? No longer there because it's been paid. If I go to the income, here he is. He's recorded. Now, this gives us a hint because it says INV 454 here. See how it doesn't have the invoice number there now? Because that only records the current financial year's invoices in this column. But it's put this here. It tells us it came from invoice 454, and that tells us straight away by the way it's put that there. Oh, that was came from last financial year. That's the only time that will be presented there. If I duck back to last financial year, I'll show you those couple that we actually entered a minute ago. It'll jog your memory as to what's going on. I'll jump down the screen here. See these two? It doesn't have that at the beginning. it shows these invoices here. That just gives you a quick reference. You can tell straight away that that was from a previous year. So if you have to duck back to look at it, you duck back to the year. That's really all I needed to show you to finish off the invoices. Just double check that. There's nothing else I need to show you at all. I think that screen's pretty self-explanatory. This is the same as on the other screens. Everything throughout the software is duplicatable. All most screens look the same sort of setup. So you can transfer to a new screen and exactly know what's going on. If we had, a few hundred invoice entries here, we might only want to print out who owes us or who owes us partial. I picked on the wrong thing here. These have all been finished off now. So let's say we had, for intensive purposes, we had 2 or 3 invoices here that were owing out of a bunch of 600 invoices. So we could click our owing and click the print button here, and it will print just the report of those that are owing. And the same goes for the partial. And of course, if we click all, we can print a list of the complete list of invoices if you want to print that particular report. I don't think there's anything else I need to show you. The help and this works the same as I've described in the expenses. I think the expenses videos need to be watched first. Thank you. I'll move on to another one.